Watching TVC News we would like to advise viewer discretion in this particular story. TVC News has been tracking a story from a suburb of Lagos, precisely at Ahmadiyya bus stop along the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway, in what appears to be a discovery of a suspected underground den where abducted persons are kept. The story broke earlier today after we gathered that an official of the Lagos State Waste Management Authority, LOMA, raised an alarm that there was a distress call from what appeared to be a tunnel. Well, TVC News senior reporter Jokalita Du was at the scene. She now joins us in the studio for more on this particular development. Glad to have you join us, Joke. What did you see? What did you hear?
Well, when we got there, from what we gathered from the eyewitnesses, it was a case of a Loma woman who was sweeping this morning, and then we heard that she had a distress call, maybe people on the ground crying for help. So she went out to get boys in the area to come see what the problem was. And then when they got there, the guys alleged that they started stoning the underground, like a tunnel. They were stoning, and they said whoever was inside the house returned the stones. Later, they thought amongst themselves that how would we get the person inside to come out? Then they went to buy petrol. So they poured petrol into the place and threw fire. And then one person ran out of the tunnel. So they caught as at that time a mob had already gathered. So they caught the one person and then were almost lynching the person before, security operatives got there. But then because the mob was scattered everywhere.
This is what we are seeing now?
Yeah.
Okay. The
mob was scattered everywhere. So, they would be in a particular place, and then you would hear, Pandemonium breaking out in another area that they've caught someone else.
Is this the tunnel you're talking about?
Yes, this is the tunnel. So, Pandemonium will break out in another place that, they've caught someone else coming out of another end of the tunnel. And, officials of the Nigerian army, they were on ground, Nigerian police were on ground. They tried to, put a bit of calm to the situation, but the mob, they were already angry. And all they just wanted was to lynch anybody that would come out of that tunnel, because for them, they believed that they were keeping people in the tunnel.
So did anybody really verify? Did you get any hint as to whether there were people, and then probably how many people? The tunnel seemed to have two ends. How many people ran out? And
well, the tunnel has about 21 ends.
Oh. In
different
sides,
spots,
right?
yeah,
okay.
In different spots. And of course, we talked to officials of the Nigerian police who said they had been in the tunnel. But from what we heard from eyewitnesses, they said because the eyewitnesses were actually lamenting that the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, they were not going inside the tunnel to see whether indeed people were kept.
And what is
on
their
the ground.
Case? What is the security? Because the only role you have mentioned now that the security operatives played was probably outside the tunnel. Now,
no, she said they entered the tunnel.
They claimed that they entered the tunnel.
Okay.
But I didn't see them entering the tunnel. But of course, people that had been there since morning kept lamenting the fact that they expected them to go inside and see whatever was happening there. And then, at some point, to get officials, people from the Odua People's Congress, the OPC, to, come and see whether there was something they could do. They came to, and then they consulted with one another and told us they were not going inside the tunnel.
So it appears the mystery hasn't been solved.
So at some point, we didn't have a choice. We had to go into the tunnel ourselves. Right. So we went through the tunnel, and we didn't see much of anything in the tunnel. But then, just as we were coming out of the tunnel, we gathered that someone jumped out of the tunnel just before we came out, and the person was lynched.
To death?
Yeah.
So apparently, it's still a mystery. I mean, what is happening in the tunnel, nobody really knows.
Nobody knows.
Okay, about the person that was lynched, now give us further details. Now, did all this happen in the full glare of security operatives?
Yes, it did. But I must say that men of the Nigerian army and the Nigerian police really tried. But there's little to what you can do when you have a crowd. There were more than 5,000 people there, and we had officials that were less than 20.
Apparently nothing they could
do. So, they could only maintain a bit of calm in trying to maybe rescue some of the suspected kidnappers. That
okay, let's even get this in right perspective. When you say lynched, was the person killed?
Yes.
Killed?
Yes, like burnt to death.
Oh boy.
So where does that leave us now? As in, at what stage has the police taken over now?
Well, of course, they're around the place trying to patrol and do their own independent investigations. From what they said, the tunnel leads to an abandoned building, you know, close to the area. But we went to the place also, and we didn't find anything there.
As at the time you left, has calm returned to the area?
Not quite.
And what are residents also saying? Now, before the woman, the Lagos worker, now raised an alarm, do residents in that area, did they have any inkling as to, you know, the mystery behind this tunnel?
Well, what they say is that, you know, people have been missing, you know, in the area. People would just be looking for people maybe on their way back from work, and I think that's what made their anger.
Did you by any chance get to speak to the Loma woman?
No, I didn't.
All right, and that's our senior reporter, Joke there. Thank you for being
Of course,
on
it
TVC
appears the police
News.
operatives will probably, you know, be working out, solving this mystery.
Yeah, because she was doing that till
we have
everything ended.